Up on Mountain News at 6, school districts in the mountains received donations from ARH following the July 2022 flood. And some folks in eastern Kentucky are still dealing with power outages after tropical storm force winds moved through last week.
And we have a nice abundance of sunshine somewhere in the forecast. Details in a few minutes.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Officials with Rupp Arena are helping out people impacted by the eastern Kentucky flooding 2 years ago. A truck comes through about twice a year and gathers something that families in Perry County need. This time it was carpet to furnish homes with. A representative with Rupp Arena shared that they specifically save carpet from events that happen there so they can donate to the Christian Appalachian Project. Supplies are being collected across the region to help those affected by the recent flooding in parts of several states. What happened in those areas brings back a lot of memories for those affected by the July 2022 flood. Eric Gibson with Kentucky Emergency Management says last week's event in Tennessee and North Carolina was similar to what those here in the mountains went through 2 years ago. Trailers are being filled up with items including baby diapers and bottled water.
They're down there managing food and water, those critical needs for those folks down there. But we also have a team of dispatchers, 911 dispatchers.
Kentucky Baptist Relief is also deploying to the region. We are also told immediate need supplies are being collected at London City Hall and the police station in London. That desire to help has spread quickly throughout the region, and a call to action on social media has prompted groups of people in Letcher County to join forces. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the grassroots flood recovery effort.
When news of the raging waters in Tennessee and North Carolina made it to eastern Kentucky,
it's gut-wrenching, especially with what is still so fresh in everybody's mind here.
People who experienced the trauma and tragedy of the 2022 flood decided it was their turn to give back.
We all got to witness firsthand how important it was when folks came from other areas in here and loved on the people here that were in the hardest situations in their lives.
With groups in Letcher County joining forces to create a network of drop-off locations, inviting neighbors to help neighbors.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
And they've got friends and families down there that now need us. And we feel like it's the right thing to do is, give back to them because they've given a lot to us.
Collecting cleaning supplies, water, and other items with the experience of knowing what the most pressing needs are in the immediate aftermath.
There's no good that comes out of a disaster like this, but kind of the silver lining in this is that we have a little bit of knowledge right now to make this as effective as possible because we've got that knowledge of what we should send and what we should wait to send.
Saying it takes a lot of helping hands.
Letcher County wouldn't be back the way it is without the people, that has helped us.
But the region always stands together. In Letcher County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Items can be dropped off at Jenkins City Hall, Whitesburg City Hall, and New Freedom Worship Center. Water can be dropped off at Joe Banks APRN in Whitesburg. Organizers say a Jenkins school bus will eventually take the items to those in need. Well, let's take a look at the power outage map here in Kentucky. There are still some counties dealing with a few power outages, but nothing certainly like we saw on Friday. There's still more than 200 customers that do not have power in Leslie and Letcher counties, and looks like the worst counties right now are up in northeastern Kentucky. Well, several counties declared a local state of emergency last week. Harlan County had more than 6,000 customers alone without power at one point, and Judge Executive Dan Mosley declared a state of emergency so that additional support could be sent to help in the recovery process. As of this morning, Mosley says the numbers have dropped down to roughly 600 customers without power.
There were also some water outages as a result of the power outages yesterday, but that has since been resolved. As far as timeline on complete restoration, based on the information that we're receiving, that it's hopeful that everyone will be restored by tonight.
Mosley says the extra crews that came were a huge help in the recovery process.
So we started the day off with a substantial amount of rain, and then that cleared out. Now we're left with temperatures right now in the 70s. You can see right here as the graphics come up. There we go. Temperatures are in the low to mid 70s. 77 Manchester, 73 London, 75 Somerset. Monticello is at 74. 75 is the current temperature in Ashland, 64 in Wise. Here's the latest with live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you can see a few little renegade showers on the map, but that's it. The majority of us right now staying partly cloudy, and that will continue as we go throughout the next several hours. Maybe a stray shower or two between the 7 to 10 o'clock time frame, if you will, but all in all, not a bad evening. Just take the rain gear with you just in case you do have evening plans, and then just in case you got under a stray shower or two. Mid-60s will be the rule as we go throughout the overnight hours. We'll see some patchy fog, and when you wake up in the morning, we'll see temperatures in the low 60s, upper 50s towards Wise, as well as Clintwood. Now, coming up in the first alert forecast, we have plenty of sunshine in the forecast, but when does it start? I'll have the details in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. The Letcher County Sheriff is reportedly retiring. According to a report from the Lexington Herald-Leader, Mickey Steins is stepping down from his position. This comes after Governor Andy Beshear had called on Steins to resign last week. Steins is in jail after being charged with murder in the death of District Judge Kevin Mullins. Steins is set to appear in court in Morgan County tomorrow at 1 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. The courthouse in Letcher County is now operating at normal capacity following the shooting that happened earlier this month. Some offices were reopened last Monday with limited services available. One person is dead after a crash in Buchanan County, Virginia. The crash happened Saturday evening on Route 641. An all-terrain vehicle was heading north on the roadway when the vehicle went off the road and hit a tree before going down an embankment. 60-year-old Johnny Casey of Grundy was taken to a local hospital where he died due to his injuries. Police are looking for a man who has been reported as missing. Here's a picture of Joshua Wayne Miller. According to the Breathitt County Sheriff's Office, he was last seen on September 18th at the Hazard ARH. He is described as being about 5 feet 10, weighing approximately 135 pounds. Police say he was last seen wearing a maroon buttoned-up shirt with desert camo pants and boots. If you have any information, you can call State Police at 606-435-6069. Repairs and building back is still going on in the region 2 years after the July 2022 flood devastated parts of eastern Kentucky, including schools and businesses. And as restoration continues, so does community support and help. WYMT's Amelia Lee was at Hazard ARH today to speak with educators about a donation for schools impacted by the 2022 flood.
Students in eastern Kentucky are back in the classroom, but that does not come without its challenges, as folks are still working to go back to normal after the July 2022 flood. In an effort to offer more support, the ARH Foundation for Healthier Communities donated $70,000 to the school districts impacted by the flood.
Our goal is to always be partners with our communities and our school systems because we know that our school systems are the heart of our communities.
Each district was given a $10,000 check during the presentation on Monday morning. Paula Boggs with Perry County Schools says her district still has needs after losing Chromebooks and technology.
It takes a long time to rebuild from what we went through. Losing 2 complete schools was a big devastation to our school system.
The effects of the flood are long-lasting for families who survived the natural disaster.
So students who lost schools, lost homes, and lost everything they had, and that's trauma.
In Letcher County, the $10,000 will go to the school district's Family Resource and Youth Service Center. For those in Perry County, the funds will go to technology needs to get students back on track.
We decided that our schools could use the money in any way that they needed to, because our school systems know best what they need.
Organizers with ARH say they are here to serve the community and be a part of it. In Hazard, Amelia Lee, WYMT, Mountain News.
Organizers say if anyone wants to contribute to the foundation to continue making a difference, you can go to arh.org/donate. Road work is set to begin in Estill County soon. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet say Kentucky 3327, which is also known as Stacy Lane in the West Irvin area, will be closed from October 7th through the 14th. Crews will be working to replace a large drainage structure there. Officials say drivers can use Kentucky 594 as an alternate route. And we want to remind you again tonight that applications for the WYMT Mountain Classic Scholarship are still open. You have until 5 p.m. on October 4th to submit your applications. In addition to the WYMT Mountain Classic Scholarship, you can also submit applications for the Ralph Gabbard Memorial Scholarship and the Tony Turner Memorial Scholarship. Students who want to apply should submit their applications to their guidance counselor prior to the deadline. We have more about this at WYMT.com.
All right, this is seen at Buffalo Mountain right now. We're seeing a mixture of sun and clouds out there. Now we will see mainly sunny skies as we go throughout the second half of the work week. Details in a few minutes. Stay with us.
Yeah, that's a beautiful scene out there. And officials at a news conference in Perry County discuss how to help someone if they are dealing with suicidal thoughts.
Visit linkedbylovetv.org.